everybody. Welcome to Comics Covered for the week of June 12th, 2019. I have episode 80 here on my rundown, although...
As in AD After Doug, which is a movie where my 14-year-old son and I search a barren wasteland, which we treat as a character in and of itself. And we search it for a microphone and computer so we can record an episode of Comics Covered after Doug finds his true calling of becoming a giant monster fueled by nuclear energy.
I'm confused by that last bit, but sure.
That's what the barren wasteland comes from. You find your true calling, your vocation. You become this giant monster fueled by nuclear energy. And
I see.
Me and my 14-year-old son, who I have converted to Scientology, search a barren wasteland.
Okie doke. I'm not sure how the Godzilla analog fits into this, but I'll take it. That's me.
I mean, that's your actual calling in life, isn't it? I feel like that's what you want.
Oh yes, dude. But if someone make a fucking VR giant monster game, I mean, there have been some little indie ones, but make a real one. I'm pleading you, people.
Where you would you have objectives as a monster, or they just let you run loose?
I also just generally want someone to make a RPG giant monster action adventure video game. That would also be amazing. You're just a giant monster and you're wandering around tracking down other giant monsters, and there's some sort of implied storytelling there. Anyways,
by the way, but just on a different tangent, I love how just before we started, you were like, okay, I got to figure out how to start up here. Got to figure out how to, what I'm going to say at first. And then you're just like, hey, everybody, this is...
Because I really couldn't think of anything, so I just go right in.
No, I understand.
Yeah. Anyways,
why are we here?
Other than giant monsters, here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books. Comic books. Let me clarify. Comic books and the world around them. The tips of the... I don't know what that phrase is.
Tips of the tops?
No, I need to enunciate. The
dictation?
Tip of the tongue and the...
Oh, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. We talk about comic books. We talk about the comic industry, comic movies, TV, games. We have game news. There's game news this week. E3 happened, so...
All three of them.
Something was bound to be superhero related. We will also talk spoilers about the books that we read this week, but we'll warn you about that. I'm Doug Price. I am our resident comics veteran, and I am here with my co-host Jack Ahern, who is deep in the trenches with me, but he did not. But he joined a little later. He ran through the battlefield and leapt heroically into the trench, and I was like, that was a bad idea.
Yes,
but here you are with me.
My name is Jack Trench. I am the trench, actually. Please enter me, Doug.
Nope.
I always come up with new ways to twist your silly little stories into something deep and dark and unfathomable, like my trench.
Uh-huh. Yep.
We're really becoming a body horror podcast, aren't we, Doug?
Yeah, we need to stop talking about body horror.
Oh, it's a fun time, though. Doug was just telling me about how he calls everything body horror on this show all the time. And I don't know, I feel like you're just particularly sensitive to it. I don't know, I feel like you just notice whenever you do it.
I'm very squeamish, but I love horror stuff. But it's so, I don't know, there's something about referring to slightly upsetting things as body horror that is very funny to me.
Okay. Would you say that what is it? Who's that guy? Rob Liefeld. Does he draw in a body horror style since he doesn't have any regard for anatomy?
I mean, if a real physical human being in real life looked like a Rob Liefeld drawing, I would be concerned. I would come up to them and I would pat them on the shoulder and I'd say, "Do you need a doctor?"
To be fair, what if you saw someone drawn like Fraser Irving draws someone?
Oh, God. I would also be frightened, but for many reasons.
Yeah.
Those people would be twisty and disproportionate. They look cool as hell. Yeah. Fucking weird. Anyways. How was your week, Jack?
Oh, it was great. No disembodied heads. It was fantastic. I did so much this weekend. So many exciting things. Like watching more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. No, but in all seriousness, I'm very surprised because, and I want to ask you right now, to what level should I talk about specifics of Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for your own enjoyment? Are you ever going to watch it?
I'll probably get around to it sometime.
Okay, I'll keep it short.
You can talk like a little bit of specifics if you want to. Like I might need the kick in the pants to actually watch that stuff, but
okay. Well, I'm not here to
not any major plot reveals.
Yeah, I'm not here to sell you on it today. I just wanted to say that there's an aspect of time travel in season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it surprises me that, like, even though they treat Marvel TV as different from the movies, it is still technically in the same universe, and they say that. So I'm surprised that they had them do, like, a time travel thing, like, probably like a year or so before Endgame came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's a long-running, superhero-related TV show. I mean, eventually they're going to do a fucking time travel.
I know but they have literally, like, different rules behind it, too.
Yeah.
To be fair, they're doing it in a different way. Like, it's not like the same sort of, we figured out all the science and we're going to go back in time kind of thing. It's not like that. It's different, but it's just, I don't know. It's just weird to me that they allowed that. The rules
they set up in the movie, they explained to be, like, fundamental to how time works.
Yeah.
In that universe. So to see that they didn't coordinate that is frustrating.
Well, it's really, they may have, I don't know, because I'm only halfway through right now, and they just did a major thing with that, so I have to actually wait to see the repercussions of it. But, like, how they do it is, and, okay, this isn't really spoiling anything, this isn't a big plot point, because this happens, this is, like, the season. So they basically get thrown into the future, like, just completely, like, they just get thrown into the future, and, like, the world's all fucked up and whatever, and they have to figure out how to save it or whatever. But, so, I don't know if that still has to do with anything, because we only saw them going into the past and then talking about, like, how stuff happens in the past and how, that gets worked with. They never talked about, like, what happens when you go into the future and then go back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Are you doing stuff, is that stuff now set in the future because you had already done it? Or is there not stuff that was set by you in the past yet, so that stuff in the future isn't how it should be? You know what I mean? Because they made a big deal in the movie about how your future can't change your past because you already went through it. But if you go into your own future, does that automatically set everything, or can you still go through that past and change what that future will be like? But then again, you experience that future in your past, so it should be set in stone.
I don't know. I don't know, bud.
I should ask the people over at
the rules of time travel in the Avengers movie are very confusing. Here's the thing, though: the reason all time travel mechanics are nonsense is because time travel is impossible. Like, there's literally no way that any of this really makes sense. Even the fucking Back to the Future rules, which are the ones that everyone seems to have just agreed are the right ones,
and they're bullshit,
are nonsense. Just absolute nonsense. So everybody just needs to get over it and just let the movie dictate the terms by which it, or TV or whatever, by which it operates.
Okay.
So I don't know. I cannot explain those rules to you.
Maybe I'll have to just go ahead and ask the folks over at the X-Men universe. They know exactly what's going on with their time travel, right?
That is the most confusing version of time travel.
To be fair, Days of Future Past is one of the, I don't know, is that your favorite movie in that franchise, or is X2 your favorite movie? I'm giving you two choices
still my favorite.
Obvious. What?
X2 is still my favorite, but that one, Days of Future Past, is still very good.
Yeah. But nonetheless, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is great, and you should get back to it sometime. It's very, very nice. I'm really excited. I'm about halfway through the 5th season, and they're going places that I really never thought they would go in this season. I really was not expecting. So I'm really very happy with it. And they're integrating Inhumans in a really, really great way, even after their failure of a show. So I'm really glad that didn't go bye-bye and they didn't like sequester it to like their...
Are they integrating the characters from that show?
No.
Oh.
I won't get your hopes up. Well, I don't know if that is getting your hopes up anyways. Wouldn't you feel better if they just rebooted like everything about it?
I mean, I'm curious enough to like if they could do a good version of those characters in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like I would be interested to see them, but I'm not interested enough to actually watch the the Inhumans show.
I mean, I guess when I think back on it, like it seemed whenever I was watching promos for that TV show, the Inhumans one, I always just the only person that really stood out to me that was really, really not that great at all was Mr. Bolton from Game of Thrones.
He was from Game of Thrones?
That one dude that plays the... I don't know what actual character he plays.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah, he was playing Maximus.
Yeah, Maximus. That's right.
Yeah, he's... Yeah, Roose Bolton? What is his name?
I don't know. It's not Troy Bolton because that's the name of Zac Efron's character in High School Musical.
Okay, all right. Haha. Let's see.
Doug, what'd you do this week?
My life this week has been revolving around video games.
Ooh, nice. Okay,
video games.
I need to spend some time on YouTube and like look up what came out because I tried to and I couldn't find all that much. I don't know. I know Nintendo did a fuck ton of shit, but
if you go on like IGN's YouTube, it's just fucking trailers on trailers on trailers.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
But or just search like rundown of like specific press conferences, like what they announced. But anyways, I have friends who are really into video games, and I am like sort of like into video game announcements and stuff. I play video games.
Yeah, why are you saying sort of into that?
No, I'm into video games. I play video games. I have not played a lot of video games in the last year or so for whatever reason, and I'm trying to get myself to play more.
I'm probably reading more because I'm making you.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of other activities instead, but I'm trying to get back more into video games. And this week was E3, and it was there was a lot of cool stuff announced. We'll talk about a specific one in a minute in the news, but the new Watch Dogs looks really cool. Watch Dogs Legion. It lets you become any NPC in the game.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's so fucking cool.
Can you tell me, because we were talking about that, and I loved the idea behind the first Watch Dogs, but then I heard, and I wanted to like play it, but then I heard it was very disappointing. But then you were telling me that the sequel was much better. Do you know anything about like what made that better? Like what made the first one lame and the second one better?
From what I understand about the first one, because I didn't play it, was that the hacking stuff was pretty shallow, and it all pretty much still forced you into gunfights, even though you're supposed to be the sneaky hacker. Huh. So it like the shooting component of it was a much bigger part than you would necessarily want from a hacking game.
Yeah. So that's what's special about it.
Yeah, and then also it was just like very self-serious, dark, in a way that like, I don't know, just wasn't very fun, it sounded like. Mm-hmm. And the second one is like, there's so much more to do with hacking. It's a sequel. Like they explode that out in some really cool ways. You have lots and lots of fun abilities and gadgets and stuff. And so that stuff's really fun. But then, it's like this, it's set in San Francisco, and it's about like this younger kind of like socially conscious, like hacker, like collective. And they're really fun, likable characters. Like they're goofy, like it's a really good time. It's like the opposite tonally of the first one. Huh. And you can't avoid killing people, but for the most part, you can largely avoid shooting a gun.
Yeah.
But you're definitely still murdering people by putting out police APBs on your enemies. And, what?
Wait, you kill them by putting out police APBs and the police shoot them?
Yeah, or calling a gang hit on them.
Oh my God.
Or controlling cars to run them over. Or causing gas lines to explode and murder them.
I want to play this fucking game.
There are non-lethal options also, but it's also just much more fun to like just use all the crap to murder all these people, which sounds horrible, but it's very fun.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Jesus. Okay, yeah, no, totally. That's so cool. Are you gonna feel bad like jumping into the second game without having done it? I know you're a completionist, Doug. Come on.
No, I didn't play the first one, and they're also like not really like a single story. It's completely different characters. It's pretty much a different story. They're set in the same world. Like the main character from the first game shows up in a side mission. They're from the same like hacker group, like
called
named group. What
are they called? The Watchdogs?
No, they're called DedSec.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of the hacker group.
Huh.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah, you could definitely jump right into the second one. Just skip that first one. But
would you say you're more likely to do that with video games than any other form of media? Like be able to jump into a sequel without dealing with the first one, even if it did have a story that was
probably. I would say so. I don't know why that is. I think it's just because games are such a time sink.
Yeah.
Largely. And also, I think because games are a pretty new medium, going back to stuff is a lot harder than in other mediums because they have aged much more quickly. And so going back, it feels like you're going back much further. Mm-hmm. You know, like style and technology have changed so much in the last 20, 30 years.
Even 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs 2 this week, and I was, the timing of that was, I started playing it actually. Well, they put it on sale they had a big E3 sale on PlayStation, and that was, I'm assuming, on sale because they were going to announce the new one.
Yeah.
So, not a coincidence, I guess, but, I was very excited I am definitely going to play the third one now, so, pretty pumped.
Very cool.
And then, yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
Cool. You want to talk about some news, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a ton of DC announcements this week in terms of new books.
I have a feeling that they did it because Marvel was going to do this whole thing at E3 and they wanted to announce stuff to be like included because they didn't have any games, you know?
Yeah, but all this stuff is specifically coming out at the same time, and I don't know, like, yeah, that could be, but I think that would require a bit of... What now?
Added benefit, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's more of a coincidence than anything, but, anyways, yeah, DC announced a whole bunch of new books, in their solicitations, and slash the lead up to those. They put out some press releases or whatever. So we've got a lot of new stuff. Kind of the big one, is that there is a new Legion of Superheroes book, coming from Brian Michael Bendis and Ryan Sook, which is a fucking fantastic creative team. Mm-hmm. I am excited. There is also going to be for anybody who doesn't know what the Legion of Superheroes is, it is a, book about a group of teen superheroes in the far-flung future of the DC universe. And they have been kind of missing and teased to be coming back for a while now. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be a lead-in mini-series written by Brian Michael Bendis and let me find this dang thing.
It's just one of two, actually.
Was it only two?
It's only two, but they're each 40 pages.
Okay, so it's just stories within them then? Because it's a bunch of different artists.
The whole story is going to go over 1,000 years, so I'm pretty sure there's going to have a series of time jumps.
Okay. Yeah, anyways, there's yeah. Okay, yeah, they're all the artists are credited, or not all of them, but a bunch of artists are credited on this. Yeah. So they're yeah, so it's
and that team
those
artists are also fucking like at least 3 of them like Jim Lee.
I'm not familiar with the other ones, but I'm assuming if they're in this kind of company, they must be pretty good. Yeah, so it is a, I guess, 2-issue mini called Legion of Superheroes Millennium, and it is, covering the 1,000 years of future DC history, basically between modern day and the founding of the Legion of Superheroes. Sounds like this is going to be a little bit of a reboot of this version. Each kind of, so we're going through different kind of potential futures in the DCU, known ones like Batman Beyond, drawn by Dustin Nguyen. We've got, I don't remember who's doing what, but they've got Commandian here. They've got, OMAC, Booster Gold is going to be in it. So we're just kind of like going through each of the big kind of like important points and characters in the future of the DCU leading to the Legion of Superheroes, which is a fucking cool idea.
Do you know who Commandi is? I don't know who that is.
You read Commandi's story in Multiversity. He was in the wraparound story in the guidebook.
Okay.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
That? He was the like shirtless, long-haired kid in the future with the Tiger Man.
Oh. Yeah.
That is a Jack Kirby series from way back in the day, Commandi, the last boy on Earth. And he is so he is in a far-flung future where all of humanity has basically been replaced by animal people. And it's like this apocalyptic thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yep. Okay, I'm super excited. I was just thinking about Legion of Superheroes because they were heavily involved in the Justice Society of America series that I read incorrectly. And I was wondering, I was going to ask you on the show, like, do I need to read like some Legion of Superheroes before I read this? Like, do I need to get used to these characters? But it sounds like I just need to read Justice Society of America. Which...
Yeah. Also, I would say no. You don't need to. Even if they're in that book, I would imagine.
Have you ever read anything with Legion of Superheroes?
Nope.
You don't know anything.
But I am excited. Yeah. It's been a thing I've wanted to get into for a long time.
They have at least 2 very long series on DC Universe. It looks like, and I read a couple of the first pages. Like, it looks great. I'm super interested in like the whole idea because I don't know. Just they seem like. Just cool. Like, I don't know. Future superheroes sounds fucking awesome, and I want to fucking read it.
Yeah. The story that I've always heard told was that, like, if you were a kid in, like, the 80s and 90s and you were into superheroes, like, you were either an X-Men kid or you were a Legion of Superheroes kid. And, like, as someone who's generally always identified more with DC, but has never really gotten into either of those things, really, not like to a great extent. I've always been super curious about Legion of Superheroes, but there just hasn't really been a title like this while I've been reading, at least not when I was really aware of who they were.
Yeah, is there a reason why they dropped like doing stories about them?
I don't know. Probably sales, I would guess.
Yeah.
Very curious to see how this
does. I wonder if just after like New 52, they like just weren't part of the first plan, so they just kind of forgot about them and said, "Oh, let's just make a thing." Yeah, about this.
That's definitely for sure a thing. Is that they weren't a part of the New 52, and I don't know, it's one of those things. It's kind of why DC always goes back and forth on like, is there a multiverse or isn't there a multiverse? Is like they're always trying to make it less confusing for the reader, but then the creators always want to bring that stuff back because they like the characters in those worlds.
Yeah.
And I think the far-flung future stuff kind of acts similarly. It like where like they don't want to confuse readers who pick it up and like, wait, this isn't, we're Superman, you know? But also, like, I don't know, I'm assuming Brian Michael Bendis is a big fan of Legion of Superheroes. He's been teasing bringing them back for a while. But
I'm glad that you brought up Superman, because maybe we'll have a Superman representation on the Legion of Superheroes.
We might.
What do you think of the predictions that John Kent is going to be on Legion of Superheroes?
Yeah. And also there is historical precedent for Superboy or Superman being associated with the Legion of Superheroes via time travel or whatever.
Well, some people think that's why they aged him up.
That could be cool. I would be interested in that.
But would you, I know you like his presence in Superman, though. Would you be sad about that?
I guess it would depend. What exactly does that mean? Has he time? Because I don't want him to just disappear from Superman's life, because I think that's honestly one of the more interesting things that they've done with Superman in the last few years is give him a son.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I also generally like John Kent, so it would be an interesting to do with him. I think it would be to the detriment of Superman, unless they did some weird thing because it's time travel where like he was gone and came back in an instant, you know, and like that book takes place for him in that instant because time travel. I don't know. That'd
be interesting because Brian Michael Bendis isn't going to write like the series Legion of Superheroes that's coming back, right?
Yes, he is.
Or is he?
Yeah, that's the book so that is him and Ryan Sook.
Okay. Sorry, I was confused. But that'd be cool if he like corresponded. Like maybe Superboy will learn something in the future about something that's going on now, but he won't be able to talk about it in the Superman title, and he'll still be in both. And then at some point there'll be some big deal where it's like, holy shit, you didn't tell us about this. What the fuck? I can't.
Yeah. And we don't even know he'll be in it, but that would be interesting.
It makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it'd be a good way to connect those two crazy different worlds, you know? And it seems like Brian Michael Bendis really does want to connect all the different titles he's writing on right now. I saw a cover for Action Comics that was released. Did you see that?
Remind me.
Action Comics 1015. The cover has Naomi on the front.
Cool. Except also,
I'm really interested to see how they work with that character. Like, it's going to be interesting. I hope she stays, like, true to herself, but it also kind of, I don't know, it was always going to lead to
I know
it just went, the series.
It went so much quicker than I thought it was going to. I think that's really the thing, because it felt like this big, sprawling mystery conspiracy thing, and, like, maybe, like, 20 issues down the line, we'll be like, oh, she's a superhero, and then the series ends.
Yeah.
You know? Like, but it's like, it's happening immediately, and I feel like this book is gonna keep going, isn't it? So is it just a book about a superhero now? Because that's not what was appealing about it. I don't know.
Maybe his real drive to do it is something else that we're not seeing yet. So
I mean, if he has future plans for her, like in other books and stuff in the universe, I am curious. But anyways, we spent a lot of time on this book. There are other books that we should go through quickly.
Sorry.
But oh boy, I had it. Oh, real quick. One last note on this. So there is a character that we are following through these 1,000 years. She is a red-haired character, and they have not said who she is. Oh. Do you have any guesses?
Cyclone.
Who's Cyclone?
Sorry, she showed up in, her name's Maxine something, and she showed up in the wrong Justice Society of America that I read, and she's red-haired, and she was dealing with a lot of Legion of Superheroes stuff.
Okay, great. Maybe. Otherwise, it's someone who's traveling from modern day, so I'm guessing it's a modern day character. Because it says like a familiar character is blah, 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 blah. I mean, maybe it's somehow a Legion character, but
Maybe it's like Poison Ivy or something because she's a plant now.
But it's a white lady, like she's not green, you know?
Oh, where is this red-haired lady? Like, is it on the cover here?
The one cover I'm looking at here, it's her back, but they have put out it's not on this solicitation rundown, but I have seen other ones where you see her face and it's a, like, white lady with red hair. Fuck. Let me see if I can find it.
No, I mean, I think I'm on it's this cover by Ryan Sook, right?
That's not the only image we've seen of her. They put out some other stuff with some images of her. I'm
gonna try and look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking at one from the OMAC issue. Or no, is that her? Actually, I don't know if that's her.
Thrilling.
This is thrilling. Anyways, here she is. It's a red-haired lady in the Batman Beyond one.
Batman Beyond one. Oh, that's her? Okay, I see that page. Okay.
Yes.
She's like in a scene with Batman Beyond a page?
Yes. And I think she's in this Andrea Sorrentino 1-2, but he draws her with black hair. I think this is the same character. And I think it's the same one in the Jim Chung OMAC pages.
Okay. She's like shooting beams through someone's fucking head? Jeez.
Yeah, anyways. I'm guessing it is, what is her goddamn name?
Black Widow. It's obviously Black Widow.
Black Widow. It's Scarlet Witch. What is her name? Grey. Superman's, teenage girlfriend. Oh, God.
Superman's teenage girlfriend? What?
No, when he was a teenager.
Oh.
His
high school sweetheart, let's say.
Okay, that's better. Oh God, why can I not think of her name? I know her damn name.
I couldn't tell you, man.
Her name is something also Lana Lang.
Lana Lang? That's such a comics name.
Oh yeah.
I'm Lana Lang.
But yeah, because she has been in some superhero stuff. She was Superwoman for a while in the last few years. Anyways,
can we talk about
I guess
2-second tangent. Here's your 2-second tangent of the day. Sorry. Can we talk about how many characters in comics have a last name that's one syllable as opposed to anything else? I feel like there are like a ton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's snappier, you know? Especially when you're doing the alliteration thing.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I think that's it. Like, there are obviously a few, like, big characters that are not like that, but I just feel like Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Lana Lang, I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. But yeah, I think it's especially a thing with Superman characters, though.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Can we talk about really quickly Justice Society returning in the pages of Justice League and whether Doug's going to read it or not?
Probably going to fucking read it.
You're going to read it?
Probably going to have to fucking catch up and read that shit. God damn it. I'm so frustrated. I don't stop.
You're going to see, I'm so excited for you to read World Forger going into Justice League and then him being with the Justice Society too. Like, I hope there's a scene where they're all at the table and it's like, why is this dude here?
God, I know eventually they'll probably spin them off into their own book. I just really hope someone else is writing it.
Even if Justice Society of America is not the place for big stories. Like, if Scott Snyder was doing a Justice Society of America, I would have to think that it'd be somewhat more in line with toned down stuff.
Justice Society is not necessary. It's probably more toned down than a Justice League book, but it's still going to be pretty wacky sci-fi.
I don't know. I have a feeling that Justice League is going to be the biggest, like, the thing that's going to lay into what we don't like about Scott Snyder the most out of anything he could write. Because he said himself, like, he's writing this entire series like an event. We didn't like his short event. So, like, obviously this is playing upon the same things. I personally like this one a lot better than Dark Knight's Metal, for example. But, you know, all that negative stuff is specifically in this, like, run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. Scott Snyder, the dark multiverse version of Grant Morrison.
I want to see the Dulk Martyverse. That's what you're about to say.
the dank Martyverse. Anyways, so there are a bunch of other books. So there was that Legion thing. There was the Justice Society. This is not a new book, but Justice Society, the Golden Age heroes who came before the Justice League, who have been missing also for a while, are coming back in pages of Justice League, as written by Scott Snyder. We also have a spin-off series from Heroes in Crisis about Harley Quinn and Ivy, Poison Ivy. Boy, I was searching for her last name, and I was like, Ivy, what's her last name? Ivy
P. I'm super excited for that, by the way. Have you looked at the art for that woman?
I have not seen any preview art. I think the cover's by a different person.
Preview art, but her yes, I haven't seen preview art, but her art is fucking, like, in general, awesome. It's got this, like, I don't know, it looks very textured. And I'm really, really excited. I don't know. I don't have the name memorized yet. I have no idea.
It is by Adriana Mello. Did you look her up, or have you read something with her?
I just looked up, like, the name and then art.
Yeah, that's generally what I do. And
I also love the cover too. And also, isn't this flower person someone that we know of?
Is that not Woodrue?
I'm pretty sure it's Woodrue. Yeah, that's what his eyes look like.
You know why I think that is because Justice League Dark also this month in these solicitations has those eyes on a character, and you can see his whole body, and it looks like Woodrue. He's like a woodman.
Interesting. No, that was my first thought when I saw it. So I don't know. I'm really, really pumped for that. I'm also pumped. Like, why did they have to give me 2 Harley Quinn things? Like, my pull is going to have 0 Harley Quinn things, and then it's going to have 2 big ones. So, yeah, this Harleen by Stjepan Sijic, I'll take any day of the week. It sounds awesome. And apparently it sounds like he has a passion for that character and telling it. So, with both art and me being interested in the story, sign me up.
Yeah. I might wait and hear about the Harleen one. I haven't been super impressed by a ton of these Black Label things so far.
I know.
To be honest. I wasn't even... I liked Last Night on Earth okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes. You're going to keep reading it, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep reading it. But, yeah, I mean, it's a limited thing, isn't it? So I'll probably...
It's only 3.
Yeah, I'll just read all of them at this point, if I read the first one.
Yeah.
It was good enough. But let's see, what else? We've also got
Flash Forward, your favorite.
Oh, fuck. I made a fucking joke last week.
No, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago on the show about how they're probably going to do a spin-off book about Wally, or that we hoped they would. And and I was like, hopefully it'll be it'll be Tom King or something, but like it'll probably end up being, quote, someone like Scott Lobdell or some shit. Which was a joke.
You made the cosmic coincidence happen.
Come on. God damn it. DC, sometimes you are so predictably bad. Like you just make predictably bad creative decisions. Ugh.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I found it really funny because, like, the day that got announced, everyone was laughing because it's like, God damn it, Wally can't catch a break. What the fuck is going on? Like, this sucks. Like, even people that didn't like Heroes in Crisis, they're like, God damn it, we can't do this. Can't keep doing this to us. But now, like, a few days afterwards, and they have done some interviews, him and Brett Booth, and, like, Brett Booth talked about how he loves this character and stuff. People are slowly starting to turn around because they really hated Heroes in Crisis. And they have been talking about Brett Booth and Scott Lobdell about how they want to bring this character back to light again and save him and everything. So now everyone's fucking on board. And I'm so excited to see people try and, like, I don't know, really trying to make it in their mind that this is a good series when it probably is going to suck. You know what I mean?
Fucking, I cannot think of a more fucking New 52-ass terrible book than Scott Lobdell and Brett Booth writing the new, like, Wally West with a tarnished past. Like, fuck off. Like, I was excited to see what they were going to do with Wally, and this is the fucking worst case scenario. Ugh. Wally West is the new Arsenal, I guess. Red Hood.
Would you like it better if Rob Liefeld was drawing instead of Brett Booth?
I mean, no. But I was almost going to say yes, but no. Brett Booth is whatever. He's not good. I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to shit on them too much, but
okay. Who do you like better?
Curious. I'm curious. As much as I'm shitting on this, I am curious enough about the state of Wally West to at least see what they do in the first issue. Maybe.
So you're getting the first issue?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I just want to know more than anything, but it's probably going to be terrible, and I'm probably going to drop it. But I don't know. Maybe it'll be different from their other stuff. But ugh. Anyways,
so funny. You're going back on your word, Doug. You said quote, if they hand it off to some bullshit writer like, I don't know, Scott Lobdell, I'm not going to read it. So, Doug, God, the people are, they're just sad.
Yeah, maybe I won't. I don't know. And then we spent a lot more time on this than I thought. So let's try to speed through the rest of these.
Yeah.
We've got Gotham City of Monsters, which I don't recall who the artist is, but it's written by, Steve Orlando. Who, the idea of this is super my shit. I'm not as much of a fan of Steve Orlando's team books so far, so I'm going to try this for sure, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'll wait for you to do it because I just don't really have that much of a connection with anything like there yet. So I'll let you tell me if it's necessary reading. But I'm really excited for
it's a fucking book about 5. All DC monster characters led by DC's Frankenstein.
I know. I know.
Anyways, I'm definitely going to try it. We have an Inferior 5 book.
I'm super pumped for that. So wait, is that a like thing that's been a thing in the past?
Yes. I don't know anything about it, but Inferior 5, which is a team of misfit heroes. This is co-written by Jeff Lemire and Keith Giffen. With a backup story about Peacemaker, which is the Charlton Comics character who the comedian from Watchmen is based on.
Oh, that's interesting.
And, so Inferior 5, written by them, who's the art? Art by Keith Giffen? Interesting.
Yeah, that's what it said.
And someone else. I assume that's an inker. But,
wait, I thought Keith Giffen was an artist.
He is. He is an artist and a writer.
So why were you surprised?
He doesn't generally do, he mostly writes nowadays. So yeah, I'm curious to hear, did you know he did, rotating, roster of artists on 52, but he did all of the layouts for it.
Oh, that's cool. I remember seeing his name on there, but that's really
so cool. He plotted what all the panels were going to be, and then other artists would finish them.
I mean, that's a big deal. That's a lot of it.
It's really cool. If you read it in any of the trades or whatever, they'll show you like breakdown pages that he did. It's pretty cool. Anyways,
dang. Yeah, I mean that's got to be the reason why, because in that book, even though there are a bunch of artists working on it, like it does look generally of the same type. So that must be Keith Giffen's type, then, right?
Yeah, I mean they're following a cohesive structure that he's creating.
Yeah.
Kind of tonally through the art. Yeah. I
definitely.
Yeah. And then was that everything? Then we talked about.
I mean, I'm really excited for that one shot in Deceased is my biggest thing in this.
Oh fuck, I forgot to put that on here. Yeah. Deceased, what is it called?
Deceased, A Good Day to Die.
Yeah. So
hard.
It is a 48-page, oversized one shot spinning out of, Deceased, the DC, non-canon zombie event story. By Tom Taylor, different artists on this, but the fucking team of characters they have in this issue is the coolest shit, and I just want an ongoing about this group. This is fucking cool as hell.
I know.
It is Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, who, yes, please, more of them. We'we've got Mr. Terrific, who I love, and then we've got Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, who are another cool duo. There's someone else. John Constantine.
There's John Constantine. Yeah, for like the dark magical stuff. I think he'll work really well with this because I feel like that'll go with the zombie thing a lot. You know,
like that's a fucking that is a cool ass motley crew of characters. Like just from all over in that universe, and I'm super on board. We're excited for that.
Totally.
That stuff's all coming out in September, because fucking solicitations are weird, and that's what that means. So, the other bit of news this week that we want to talk about. Did you watch this at all, by the way?
I did. I did watch the Square Enix's Avengers first look.
Yeah,
I watched it.
So they Square Enix had their press conference at E3 this week, and they, they didn't announce, but they showed the first kind of real footage of their Avengers game that Crystal Dynamics. I don't remember if it's plural or not, but they are making an Avengers game, and Crystal Dynamics plural. So it is basically a game in which you play as the game has it, 5 core Avengers, which are Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Scarlet Witch, and Hulk. And you can play either solo or multiplayer. And it was pretty much just a big cinematic trailer. But you got kind of the idea of what it'll look like and the story setup, which is basically that someone who looks like Taskmaster hacks into an experimental helicarrier, or helicarrier with an experimental the Avengers helicarrier, they call it, with an experimental fuel source, makes it explode. It basically wipes out, I think, New York or some city.
Jeez.
It explodes, causes a disaster in some form, and the Earth blames the Avengers for it, and they have to reform to save the world again, I guess. Which is interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a cool story that, I don't know, it's nice to get away from big alien threat or something like that. You know, it seems like a very, domestic threat that the Avengers, I feel like, they get tied up with these huge cosmic things sometimes. It's nice to have a nice little, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I gotcha. It's a very human feeling. I mean, it's still fucking big and sci-fi and superhero stuff, but as opposed to, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not fucking Thanos coming down and using the magic glove to snap everything away.
Yeah.
It's different than what we've gotten from Avengers in this sort of media lately.
Now, in terms of the game, I saw in the look, you can see kind of moments where you can see styles of the gameplay based on each character, and I really like the changes of that. I'm really excited for that. I just, and the Hulk one specifically, that sounds like that giant monster kind of game that we're talking about. You know what I mean? Just destroying shit all over the place. I'm pumped for that. I don't know. Some of the characters look a little... I know it's a video game, and it's obviously going to look like this. It just looks so discount sometimes.
It's Square Enix. it's gonna have. I was pleasantly surprised it didn't look as anime as it could have, but it definitely has a little bit of a anime doing Western media kind of feel to it. Anyways, I don't think it looks necessarily discount, but I can see what you're saying. It looks good though.
No, I'm excited. Like it looks good in the way that like most video games look good. But I feel like usually when I'm seeing E3 stuff, I'm like, oh shit, that's insane. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely a little bit dialed back because it has a little bit to work with in the popular characters realm. You know?
Yeah. Fucking internet people were all upset after this because they don't look like the movie characters.
Yeah, that's absurd.
I honestly was surprised that they went as close to the movie characters in this as they did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, they're kind of making them look like not the movie characters, but kind of the movie characters.
Like, these aren't them. These are their stunt doubles.
But like, yeah, they look like off-brand versions of them, but kind of them.
Yeah, no, definitely.
More so than the comic versions, at least. Most of these. Captain America especially. It looks cool. Not a ton of gameplay stuff.
Which is kind of annoying because I thought they were going to... That was the whole deal, I thought.
Yeah. But they talked about what like the mode of game was. You can play it single player, or you can play it with up to 4 friends. Or no, it was fucking frustrating because they were like, you can play it with 3 friends, so you can play 4 player.
Yeah,
and it was like, but you have 5 characters. Just add 1 more. Like, why wouldn't you let people do the whole squad? That's dumb. Anyways, and then they implied that there will be, because I was kind of disappointed that it was such a limited roster. Which I get from a balance / I don't know, like workload standpoint, but like, I don't know. I was hoping for like a more like Ultimate Alliance level of like pick any Marvel character basically.
Yeah,
you know,
that's tough though.
And they implied though that there will be more heroes coming and that any of those characters will be free. And they had I don't know if you only watched this or if you watched any of the other little bits of footage they showed. There wasn't anything that had any more gameplay in it. Okay. But they did some other little tiny teaser video stuff with like scenes or whatever, and they basically implied that Ant-Man, Hank Pym, is going to somehow be involved. So I don't know if that was as a playable character or what, because he was just a dude with a shrink ray laser. So I don't know.
It sounds awesome though. I'm really excited to see what it's like. We should, do it together. I'm really excited because if I have a PS4 at that point, we could theoretically play online together, right?
Yeah, we could.
Be very fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Very fun.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to at least check it out. I am hoping that game is incredible, but I'm not gonna assume.
Oh, I was gonna quickly say, by the way, about the limited roster. Like, I was gonna say, like, but it's probably really hard to get that many people and to program that many different moves for so many people. And then I remembered, though, wait, this is the company that does Final Fantasy. To be fair, they probably have a lot more money to work with, but doesn't that one have like a fuck ton of characters like you play as?
I have no idea.
A fuck ton of different.
I've never played Final Fantasy.
Okay. I watched some gameplay of a few, and it looks cool. It's just not really my style,
Yeah. But I hope more characters come to it though. Even as DLC.
Tell me your one character that you would want to play as in a video game, in an Avengers video game. Oh, just like if I could pick only one Marvel character?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I would want to be...
See, the problem is I always want the weird side ones, but I don't think it really works unless you have the core ones first. So I don't know.
Mine is Silver Surfer. I would want to be Silver Surfer.
That would be fun.
And have a huge mini game when you're like going around on your board, like have a cool way of transporting it and stuff like that. I don't know. I thought that'd be cool.
I don't know. For some reason, I really like Moon Knight, and I really like seeing Moon Knight in video games. Oh fuck no! You know what? I want the Fantastic Four to be in there, and I specifically want to play as Mr. Fantastic, as Reed Richards. I want a game like this high budget, like good looking video game, and I want to be fucking Stretchy Man.
Yeah. See,
and look ridiculous.
I want to be similar. I want a DC game though. That's a stealth game, mystery game as the elongated man, Ralph Dibny.
I want a fucking detective book with Ralph Dibny. Give me a goddamn Ralph Dibny book, DC.
I'm surprised they don't have more.
Begging you.
Do they have old ones from back in the day?
I think he's mostly been a like side character. He used to have like backups in the Flash. Yeah.
That's too bad.
Anyways.
He's such a great, like, I don't know, they make him such a big deal when he's in the side. Like, just give him a fucking series.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's for sales reasons. Like, who the hell outside of the like hardcore people know who Elongated Man is?
I guess so.
But anyways, I just fucking I like Black Widow as a character. Can we fucking get someone with a little more like of an interesting power set in like
Doug tasers?
Yes, you should have female representation on the team. I'm all for that. Put fucking Captain Marvel in the game. Jesus Christ.
It'd probably take a lot more money to put the effects in.
You got Iron Man in there. I know it's different, but you can have her be a different power level than the movies. Like, she doesn't have to be like Superman.
I guess so. I would personally like She-Hulk, because I love Jennifer Walters' character. I want to see her in more stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. They also implied, I don't know what this means, that like Black Widow will have stuff based around her espionage. So I don't know if that means that she'll have like solo missions or what, but I am curious about that. It's just a thing of like, I don't want it to be this way, but like if you're playing in a group, like if I'm playing with 3 friends or something, like no one's going to want to be fucking Black Widow.
I'll be Black Widow.
Not when everybody else is fucking Iron Man and Hulk and shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right, completely. Like,
I'm running around with my guns.
She's very literally... Tasers, Doug. Tasers. She's very literally...
Well, also guns.
The junk character in this, like, group when you take it out. Like, and that's not... Like, yeah, she's great, but it's just not the same in a video game sense, you know?
Yeah, it's specifically because it's a video game and like something like this with the Avengers, you want it to be a sort of like... You want to play with the powers. You want to feel powerful.
Yeah.
And like Black Widow's a cool character, but like there's so many other female characters in the Marvel universe that would be so much more interesting to play.
Yeah.
And like there are other ones who are high profile enough that you could have slotted them in.
What if they just make her Spider-Man? Like,
wait, what do you mean?
Like it's Spider-Man, all the powers of Spider-Man, but it's Black Widow.
It's just okay. I don't know how to address that.
I don't know. I just have this image in my head of Black Widow, like Scarlett Johansson, using webs without a mask or anything in her like regular Black Widow garb, just going around New York with like webs and stuff.
Oh, dude, what if they gave fucking she's fucking spider themed?
I know. I don't know. They should do a joint book together. I feel like that'd be a great joint book, honestly. Spider-Man and Black Widow.
About Spider-Woman. We're just talking about Spider-Woman right now.
No, I'm talking about like
Spider-Woman.
The specific like dynamic, like character differences between like Black Widow and Peter Parker. I think would be a really great buddy, like figure out the mystery, like spy kind of thing where they have to work together. I would read the shit out of that series. I think that'd be awesome. Yeah,
they'd probably play interestingly off of each other. Weird duo, but that's kind of the appeal, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So definitely keeping an eye on that. I look forward to seeing some actual extended gameplay.
Yeah.
Because this was pretty slight on that. Just shots that kind of like made you go, is that gameplay?
Yes.
It looks like gameplay.
Exactly.
Just for like a second.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It looks cool.
It does.
It looks pretty linear, I will say. But I don't know if that was just that bridge sequence or not, because that's really the only shots that looked like gameplay.
Yeah, and that seems like it's the first part of the game anyways, so I would understand.
It looks like the intro.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
So we're going to keep an eye on that. Jack, do you want to move on to our weekly comics?
Yeah, we've been talking about news so long that it's become old.
Okay. All right, Jack. What books did we both pick up this week?
Cool. Yeah, I'm feeling a little horny after our little sound there, right?
You need to stop that.
Okay, I'll stop. Sorry. I'm sorry, Doug. Are you mad at me?
All right, continue, please.
Okay. We both read Detective Comics number 1005. Quote, event, end quote, Leviathan, number 1.
That's not the name of the...
I don't give a shit. It's annoying that it's Event Leviathan, and I love that on the title... By the way, before we get into that book, I love that on the title page of that book, they have this theme of, like, blacking out stuff randomly, like, words around, like, I don't know, stuff in this, but on the title page, they literally blacked out events so they can just have Leviathan on it. And I thought that was hysterical.
Holy shit, they did.
Isn't that hysterical?
That's very funny because I guess it's not the title page then because they don't even have credits on here.
Oh wait, yeah,
it's just a page that's talking about Leviathan.
Okay, yeah, the title page is at the end technically, but this is basically a title page, and I just thought it was really funny that they're like, we don't really have to call it event here. Like, you can see where it says event.
Yeah, you can. It's because it's literally the bit from the cover. It's that text, but they also crossed off Leviathan. Or sorry, event.
So yeah, I thought that was really, really funny. Yeah. Nonetheless, we also read Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 7, Immortal Hulk number 19, Invaders number 6. You didn't read that, right, yet?
I have not read it yet, no.
Okay. I have a non-spoilers thing to say about that later. We have Outer Darkness number 7, Prodigy number 6, which was the end, Silver Surfer, Black, number 1, Spider-Man Life Story number 4, and Superman number 12. I read, by myself, Oblivion Song number 16, and Trustfall number 1 by Christopher Sabella, which I read half of, and I couldn't really read the rest of it.
Okie doke.
Yeah, it was very...
I could not get past the title.
Why?
I think calling your book Trustfall is the dumbest, most like, look, we're trendy shit. Oh my god.
What? Why is that trendy?
Trust falls are a very, I don't know. Like the fucking, like, trust fall, like fucking Tosh.0 ass bullshit. I don't know.
It's not a comedy, though.
No, but that's why it's a stupid title.
I don't know. I think you're passing judgment too hard, but you can definitely pass judgment on the writing here, because I did not. Okay, Doug, what'd you read? What'd you do?
Yeah. I also picked up Amazing Spider-Man number 23, Batman and the Outsiders number 2, and Umbrella Academy Hotel Oblivion number 7.
So you had 3 Spider-Man books this week.
Yep. 3 Spider-Man books. Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite Spider-Man book on the stands right now?
My favorite on the stands right now?
That you're reading, sorry.
Friendly Neighborhood. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man book on the stands right now. Amazing Spider-Man is also very good, and Life Story is very good, but I don't even know. I don't have negative thoughts. We'll get to that book in a minute. I don't dislike that book. I don't know what, like, I have no opinion.
Well, honestly, it's not really a Spider-Man book. Like, it is, but
it is and it isn't. I don't know.
Not.
Anyways.
But you like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man more than Amazing?
Yes. It's a little hard to say because Friendly Neighborhood's so much earlier than Amazing Spider-Man. But I really like the beginning of Friendly Neighborhood. But yeah. I don't know. Anyways.
Well, they're very different, too. Like, it's a weird difference. Like, it's almost like the difference between Bendis's Superman and Action Comics, but not still. You know what I mean? They're a little bit closer together. Yeah,
they're a little closer. They're still kind of Spider-Man books, but Amazing Spider-Man is much more of, the traditional, like, long-running plot arcs, like, action-adventure comedy stuff. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is a little bit smaller, shorter plot arcs. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways. Yeah, so those are the books we read this week. Jack, we're going to talk about some spoilers.
Yeah.
You want to warn the folks.
Yeah, do the ones that we do all the time. Here we go. Did that come across?
All right, perfect. Yep.
Great.
Yep, that was the spoiler warning sound that we do every week. It's always the same sound.
Trademark.
And, what now?
It's a trademark.
Trademark. Yep. Copyright.
That's how you do
Comics Covered 2019. Let's talk about the books that we read this week. The biggest book, the book that I read in order of how excited I am, and the book that was at the top of my pile this week was Event Leviathan, as we mentioned before. This is an event book, if the title didn't tell you that, by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. Maleev?
I say Maleev. I don't know. I think it sounds better if it's Maleev.
It's probably Maleev.
It reads better.
So this is basically a kind of detective / espionage book that seems to be kind of rounding up a bunch of the kind of detective characters in the DC universe. We've got Batman, we've got Lois Lane, Green Arrow shows up. Steve Trevor is in it, but I'm not sure how much he's going to be in the long-running plot of this.
Yeah, I don't know. He was a surprise. I did not think he was going to show up. It was cool, though.
Yeah, and then the Question is kind of in the background here. So there have been a bunch of attacks on different government organizations in the DC universe, and these characters are getting together to try to figure out, they know it's Leviathan, but they don't know basically who is Leviathan. Leviathan is
what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, who is running it now, because it used to be Talia al Ghul, her group, and she's kind of been ousted in favor of a new character, and who's all but surely Red Arrow Arsenal.
Oh, really?
If you have not been following along with that,
isn't he dead?
So he, yep.
Okay.
If you look at him, he's got red arrows. His costume's all red, and he's got red arrows all over him. He's got a little kind of chain across his hood that has some red arrows on it. He's got a belt buckle on his. Well, he's got red arrows belt buckle on his chest. He's probably Red Arrow. He's probably Arsenal.
Why would they put so many clues in there if they were just going to reveal that?
My guess is it's not actually Red Arrow, and that is all a red herring.
So many red. Sorry, that's funny.
So many reds. Yeah. So, there's this mysterious new character who he's not supposed to be called Leviathan, right?
I think no, he's not.
No, but he's this red masked hooded character who has taken over the group Leviathan, and these detective characters spend the entire issue kind of talking in a destroyed building after one of the attacks, trying to kind of piece together the beginning parts of the mystery. Jack, what was your impression of this?
Okay,
book?
I have two things to say. First of all, my first thing is, in terms of the character design of this guy who's not Leviathan with the mask, I want like a piece of art that has a bunch of different pictures of the characters that have been inspired in design by Darth Vader. Like, have Darth Vader be the first picture, and then have every single other character that's taken that design in different ways, like in the same thing, like as a collage kind of thing. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want that someday. I'll go find someone to draw for me. It won't be thousands of dollars. Doug, I really, really enjoy the idea of these characters, like being on a team, figuring out a mystery together. Like, I love the idea of Lois Lane and Batman specifically, like going off of each other with the Question and Green Arrow in there. I'm super pumped for this event. I'm a little bit whiplashed, first of all, because, with this whole, maybe I was wrong in thinking this, but with all the Leviathan Rising stuff happening in Action Comics, with Superman at the center of it and everything, I thought it was a little weird that there was just this throwaway line like, oh yeah, he's in space right now, let's figure this shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the weird part about this, and that was kind of one of the impressions I got from the kind of lead-in story they had in that Year of the Villain special is that I don't think this is a Superman.
Which is crazy.
Like, I don't think Superman is in it.
It's just really crazy compared to, like, he was a part of all that buildup. Like, he's just going to come back and he's just going to be like, oh, you guys figured out Leviathan? That's cool.
I mean, I guess the implication is that, like, yeah, he's got bigger shit to deal with like, his son and Rogolzar and all that shit.
Yeah.
But also, I'm assuming he's still going to be in Action Comics.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's weird.
One thing that I was thinking could be a thing is what if they wrap up this, arc in Superman at some point, like during the course of this run, and Superman leaves space to go back home, and he shows up in the middle of this event.
Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious if Superman is going to be involved in this at all. But that said, yeah, I'm of two minds on this. Also, I love the art.
Oh yeah,
the art's gorgeous. However, okay, I guess I'm of many minds. Second thought on the art, though. The art is perfect for a noir-y, espionage-y thing. It's absolutely a good fit for this story. I found some of the panel structure to be very confusing. There was a lot of vertical panel stacking in places that was really confusing where I should go next.
I didn't really get that. I don't know what you're talking about.
So
this first page I can see.
So, okay. This first page, you look at the first panel. Okay, obvious. Second panel, obvious. Which one's the third? And it's that kind of throughout the book. Like, if you look on the next page, we get this first one, the big top one of Lois Lane pointing a gun at Batman. Second one, they're talking. Third one, she's pointing the gun and just kind of looking at him. Which one's the fourth one?
Wait. 1, 2, 3. I'm Batman.
No.
What?
It's down.
Oh, are you talking about you're hi, how are you? That's the fourth. Oh, you're talking about... Okay, sorry. I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, that's obviously the first one, because she's putting away the gun and she doesn't have the gun anymore.
But that's not... yes, you can figure that out based on the flow of action, but that's not where... It's not obvious that you're supposed to move to that panel. I spent a lot of this issue being like, which way am I supposed to move?
That. I think those first two issues are the first two pages are the most glaring issues. Because I think once you go through the rest of it, it's kind of obvious where you go.
Yeah, the structure kind of simplifies itself for the most part in the rest of the issue. It's pretty simple. It's those first few pages, that are more kind of complicated. So, yeah, like it was really only those, but still confusing.
I have one other troubling thing. Two other troubling things. First of all, I love this art. Yes, I was a little disappointed that his whole scene took place in one place, in a dark place.
Yeah.
Second thing having to do with that, as a person who did read all the build up to this event, this issue just kind of like, it told us some different things and they got the team together, but it really didn't tell us anything at all new.
Yeah, it introduced Steve Trevor and had everyone kind of accuse each other of being Leviathan.
Yeah, but and then we get this little scene about what happened at Argus, I guess. I don't know. It just felt very disappointing as a first issue to a big event, like, because we are part of that buildup. And I feel like if I even wasn't part of that buildup, reading it in Action Comics, just having it dumped on me, like, would seem really like, oh, okay, I guess this is what's happening. You know?
Yeah, I think there could have been a better way to kind of hit the ground running with this, while also getting people up to speed. Because you do need to get people up to speed. Not everyone is going to have been reading Action Comics.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. The thing is, I really like the dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
I like the conversations that happen. I love the dynamics between the characters, especially Batman and Lois Lane. Like, that stuff's all amazing. It's just, it's all that. And, like, it's just them talking in circles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they made some actual, like, real deductions in this and some forward momentum, like that, I would feel a little differently about it, but it's just kind of them just kind of talking in circles the whole time. They don't really figure anything out. I'm hoping that it's just because it's the first one and it's for some reason like this because they're thinking it's to set it up for people who haven't read it.
I think it probably is, but it's just annoying because it's 1/6 of it. You know, it's only 6 issues, so I just thought we might get a little bit more. And, you know, I want more question. I know he's going to show up more, but I just want more.
Yeah. But, I really do hope it kind of moves a little more in the next one.
Yeah. Because I liked it. Yeah, like we said, like I liked it. I'm just a little disappointed, you know?
Like, if this is a slow burn detective thing where it's lots of people talking, like, I'm cool with that. It just, they need to actually do detective work, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it wasn't what I was hoping, but I'm not necessarily, like, pessimistic about the rest of the series.
No.
Because I do think there was good stuff in there.
Of course.
And hopefully it'll be a little, just a little more to it in the next one.
Yeah. I'm hopeful. Like, it'll be good. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to talk about, Doug?
So I'm gonna try to repeat myself for people so people know what we talk about. That was Event Leviathan.
Oh,
that we talked about.
I like that.
So, let's talk about Silver Surfer Black.
Okay.
So this
series. Sorry, should I not make this joke again? I won't do it.
No, let's not do that again. This is a series by Donny Cates and Trad Moore. Colors by Dave Stewart, which I didn't notice at first.
Super pumped.
Interesting. That is, I would not have pegged this for a Dave Stewart book.
I can see his colors coming through. I can see his style.
It's just he's doing kind of a different thing than he. I could definitely see it in these later pages, like with Nighttime with the Giants. Yeah. Anyways, so it's about is a spinoff from Guardians of the Galaxy. Silver Surfer and a bunch of other cosmic Marvel characters were sucked into a black hole at one point, and so this is basically Silver Surfer gets all the other characters out, basically. Yeah. He saves them, and then he is still sucked into the black hole, and goes on kind of a little adventure there.
Yes.
That we're going to follow him through in this series. I want to hear your thoughts on it, because I think you were a little more chomping at the bit to talk about this book.
I am chomping at the bit. So, speaking of panel structure and storytelling through art, I thought that these, specifically the scenes of Silver Surfer racing through this, like, vortex thing and getting the heroes out was...
Oh, that was cool as hell.
Expertly, like, so fucking cool. Like, seeing the board, like, go, like, into the page and out of it, and then ripping, like, the background of the page and shit. That was the coolest shit I've read recently. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking cool. I really, really like this. I felt like in the middle that I should feel tired by so much narration happening, but I didn't. Yeah. You know, I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed, like, how he was thinking about it. I really, like, it's terrible what's happening to him. And I don't know. I thought it was a little weird. Like, okay, this is how I'll summarize my thoughts. I really, really enjoyed most of, like, everything of this issue. I just feel a little weird about the ending of it and, like, Noel being a part of it. I don't know. I like that, and I liked his thing in Venom when he was introduced. I just thought it was weird that he's just randomly here now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to him in the end of that Venom arc.
I thought he just defeated him kind of thing, but not really.
I thought he died for some reason, but I guess not.
I don't think he died, because he is God. Like, I mean, he's not a god, but he's powerful, you know, and I think he can be in multiple places.
Powerful in a way that he views himself as a god.
Yeah.
Other characters view him as a god.
I don't know. I definitely want to go back and see, because didn't he put him in a fire or something like that?
I don't remember.
Or is that just the dragon?
Honestly,
That might be just the dragon.
I think he killed the dragon.
I don't know.
I don't remember, honestly.
I did really like this this action scene, though. I thought it was really, really well done. Like, I don't know, the ups and downs based on like who gets the upper hand, I think, within the whole thing. I thought it was a really well done action scene in that sense.
Oh yeah, it was a very, very well done action sequence,
and I think
a very clear sequence of events, and like very well plotted.
Yes.
Good action sequence, not just lots of panels of people punching.
Exactly. And then I loved this panel of him making the sun and the people blowing up out of it. I thought was just like amazing in context. It was just, I'm really a huge fan of this guy's art. I don't know. I love this. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Well, actually, I love this issue, and I'm really hopeful that it goes places that I'm excited for it to go. But I'm not as like I don't know. I'm wary on what it's going to be, what kind of series it's going to be. You know?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on the art because I absolutely agree the layouts and the structure and the way the storytelling in this is so good and strong and dynamic. I don't know. I'm sure it'll grow on me. The style of it isn't necessarily something that I super love. I don't know. The way he draws fucking, I don't know, Silver Surfer's body weirds me out.
Huh. Too many abs?
Yeah. It's just... I don't know. I don't know what I think about it. It's very stylized.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But the storytelling is super, super strong. So I'm sure it'll grow on me. But it's not something that immediately hit me where I was like, oh, gorgeous. I was just kind of tepid on the actual art style itself.
Yeah. Did you get the idea that this may have been written in a very Marvel style sort of way?
I'm willing to bet there was significant involvement from the artist on this. I mean, especially since it's a lot of the story told through captions.
Yeah.
There are a number of like action sequences and big kind of sequences of just like Silver Surfer flying around and doing one long extended action.
Yeah.
You know? While he just like in his head is thinking about his life and stuff. So yeah, I would not be surprised.
I don't know. I thought
this fucking upskirt shot of Silver Surfer's crotch.
I was just gonna say I'm literally here. Yeah.
Just like, why? Why are we getting this Silver Surfer crotch shot right now? I
think it's probably to show that he's going to support all these people, and it's all the chaos that he feels like he has to solve. It's just a weird angle.
Yeah, why is it just right up into his gonads?
Like, yeah, it's probably...
He doesn't have anything down there, but like...
And the weird abs are just so bubbly and strange, and... I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't work well with the rest of how he draws the body. I'm not as bothered with the body, but this specific angle, I don't think is very flattering for anybody.
No. It's so weird.
Can you imagine if this was like Dr. Manhattan and there's just a big blue dong hanging down?
Oh, God. Yeah, this is a blessing that Silver Surfer ain't got nothing down there. Like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
But
you like this in general?
What?
You like this in general? You like enjoyed it?
Yeah, like I like this. I mean, the story's pretty simple, but like I like the introspection in Silver Surfer. It's definitely staying true to kind of the spirit of the character in that he's kind of always he's this character who's wrecked by guilt by his past working with Galactus, but like Donny Cates makes that work in a way that isn't whiny.
Yeah.
Which is always the struggle when you try to do that, because that was kind of the original version of the character. Silver Surfer flies through space, whines about how he murdered people. You know?
I didn't know that, but I mean, that makes sense. I can see that, like, as a pitfall like of the character like to fall into.
Yeah. But here it was super interesting, and Donny Cates is really good at writing like interesting thought processes and like introspection into characters, especially in caption form. I think that's part of why this book works so well in that department. And yeah, I think the storytelling, the layouts and the pacing and everything here is top notch. But it's a pretty simple story. I'm curious to see where it's going to go, especially with the big, like, I was not expecting like a big reveal like that at the end.
I don't know
that we're going to have Null in here. So
definitely. No, yeah, I'm excited to learn more, but I'm just glad that Donny Cates was not lying when he said it was going to be a very, very trippy book. So I hope it keeps up with that stuff. Because honestly, you're talking about the art. I think the art works much better when it was like all that trippy, crazy stuff, because it was trippy and crazy, but I felt like I had a good handle on everything that was going on. And that's a really special thing to be able to do, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Donny Cates, he loves his space goo. He loves a good character who's covered in space goo.
Oh. Wait, why? Is that a thing?
Silver Surfer, Venom, Null.
Okay, I guess so. Is Silver Surfer just covered in space goo?
He's covered in he talks about it at one point in this issue. He's like, let's see. He's just a dude. He's not a silver creature.
I know. He's always drawn like that, and I just always, I mean, I guess, yeah, based on how it's drawn, I don't know.
He uses, like, he uses the, like, goo to, it's not goo, but, like, he manifests his board from the, like, silver material at one point.
Yeah, no, I know, you're right. I don't know, it always seems metal to me, and I know that's part of the deal, like, how his design is. He's just a very cool character. I love him. He's awesome. He's
such a fucking cool design. Like, he's such a cool, like, visual, one of the most iconic designs in comics for sure.
Because it's so simple and minimalistic, but it can be used to do so much. It has so much freedom built into it, and that's part of it, I think. You know,
it's just this fucking chrome naked dude standing on chrome surfboard floating through space.
Yeah,
is such a ridiculous but simple image that, like, as an artist, you can play with that in such cool ways.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that really plays to the visual medium in a way that a lot of comics don't. Comics designs.
Well, we have 4 issues to go to see it, so I'm excited.
I'm trying to find this goddamn sequence where he talks about...
No, I remember what you're saying. It's okay. It's just about the look thing. It's hard for me to get around, like, not seeing him as metal. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, it basically is metal.
He's just basically T-1000, you know?
I mean, yeah, it's like a liquid metal. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway. Cool. So, Silver Surfer Black. Yeah, recommended. For sure.
Absolutely.
Is this a 3-issue, 6-issue? What is this?
5-issue, I believe.
Oh, weird. Huh. Yeah, I can definitely see it being shorter than 6. 5 is a weird number, but sure.
Really? They do 5s all the time.
I guess they do. Yeah. I guess, yeah, 6 is more arcs than minis.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they do. Yeah, I would say so. I think, yeah, I don't know. Never mind. Okay. That's all I had to say about it.
All right, let's talk about our next book, Spider-Man Life Story, number 4.
You sound like a horse race announcer. All right, let's talk about our next book. Coming around the corner is
Spider-Man Life Story, taking the lead.
That's her.
So, I just yelled that. This is each issue of Spider-Man Life Story. We started with the first issue in the 60s, when Spider-Man became Spider-Man, or it was afterwards. It wasn't like an origin, but
it was like 3 years he's been Spider-Man or something.
It was early days in the 60s, and each issue of Spider-Man Life Story goes forward 1 decade. And we get the story of kind of what it's like 1 decade later, as if real time has been passing for Spider-Man. So we are now in issue 4 in the 90s. And
Doug's favorite era of comics.
Which is interesting because I found it interesting how this series hasn't really been about generally kind of it has kind of dipped into this. I think the last issue was actually the issue that the most kind of dipped into like the types of stories that decade told.
Yeah.
But like this doesn't really feel like it's commenting on 90s stories, at least not in a way that I can determine.
I mean, I feel it in the art. I don't know. I read some 90s stuff from, what is it, that Christopher Priest Black Panther thing was probably the most 90s thing I've read. And I don't know, from that, it looks like the art is kind of playing with it a little bit. It looks like,
it's still just, it looks like Mark Bagley. It looks like the rest of this series.
I don't know. I just feel
the
like
art has shifted in any way to mirror the 90s.
I felt the 90s in the like meeting he had with Tony Stark and him being a dick and all these like action lines out of like things that they say. I felt 90s when like, I don't know. You would know more than me, so I don't know what I'm even talking about here. Sorry. So you didn't feel it?
It's at least not 90s in the way that you think of when you think of the stereotypical 90s comic.
Okay.
I will say that. Like, what the 90s is known for. And we joke about, like, the 90s is my least favorite comic era or whatever, but, like, there's plenty of great stuff that came out of the 90s. It's just that a lot of stuff was tinged with this very over-the-top, extreme kind of... They put the emphasis on the art over the story, and the art wasn't good in a lot of books.
Yeah.
And that's a frustrating thing about the 90s.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know. So what's interesting here, more so than that, I think, because I don't know how much it's actually saying about the 90s, is what they're doing with the story. And I'm completely at a point where I'm just like, I'm interested to see what they're going to do, but I have no frame of context in my mind to be like, oh, that's an interesting thing. I'm just like, okay, that happened. I don't know.
What does that? I don't know. What does that mean? Like, you don't really feel like
I don't really have much of an emotional connection, honestly, to most of the events in this book. I don't know. I'm really glad they reversed they reveal at one point in this issue that there was a clone of Peter Parker a few issues ago, and they reveal in this issue after having already done this with Gwen Stacy in that original issue. They go, oh well, turns out who we thought was the real Peter Parker is actually the clone, and the clone is the real one. And I'm really glad that they reversed that in the end of the issue.
Well, apparently that was like how the original Clone Saga was, and it was actually not reversed.
Wait, what?
Apparently people, like, Clone Saga is apparently a very infamous storyline, right, in Spider-Man, and apparently part of it is that was a real thing that happened. That the clone was Peter Parker, and the Peter Parker was like, they had it wrong.
So wait, so then did the clone just become Spider-Man then? Or not clone? What, the guy who thought he was the clone? The guy who was Ben Reilly, did he just become Spider-Man?
I did not get that far. I'm not positive. I would need to look it up more. But that's what I heard, but like people talking about it, and they said they were really glad that they actually like went back on it, that they reversed it, because
that's fucking stupid.
Really dumb.
It's really dumb. Okay, actually, this all... See, that's the thing, is I'm willing to bet someone with a much more kind of encyclopedic knowledge of, like, the history of Spider-Man is getting a lot more out of this series than I am.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. But, I mean, when I hear things like that, it makes me appreciate this craft so much. The other thing I think that they do really interestingly is that okay, maybe I'm taking this from the first Spider-Man movie, and because that's my base knowledge. But in the comics, is it the same thing where Peter Parker, like, Spider-Man is involved with something that leads to Norman Osborn's death, and Harry Osborn blames him for it?
Yeah, it's more or less it, yeah.
So here, they completely reverse it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Spider-Man is totally not involved in his death, but he dies, and he has to tell Norman, who's alive, and then Norman's like, it's fucking your fault, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I don't know, I thought that was a cool little reversal, and I really loved that scene, like, where, I don't know. I always felt connected to Harry as he was leaving. Like, it was really, really sad, especially how his experience has been throughout this series, I
don't know. My thing about this series that I think I've come to decide is that, like, I don't think we get enough time to sit with the characters in each of these time periods and understand what their life is to really connect with them. I feel like I'm like flipping to random pages in a book and reading a bit of it and then jumping another 100 pages forward. And that's kind of the point, but like also I don't really get much of a sense of like who Peter Parker is in each of these time periods, honestly, very much. I don't know. Like, I don't have much of a connection to this version of Peter Parker as a person. He feels a little bit like a blank slate to me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think this series would have been really benefited if it was 12 issues and it spent 2 issues on each decade.
Yeah, and like 2 issues on each decade, or jump forward 5 years each one, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the jump forward. Well, yeah, the jump forward might actually help.
That still probably would be about the same. Maybe it's just 2 issues for each time period. But
yeah,
I don't know. It just, or these need to be longer or something.
They're pretty long already, though.
I know, but like it's just, it feels like I'm getting a different version of Peter Parker in each of these issues, and I'm not really getting much context for how he's different and how he's grown, and it's hard to put the pieces together in my mind to make it a cohesive character.
I don't know. I don't find that as difficult because I feel like I always have it in my mind where we left the character off, and then I think it always. Maybe I've just gotten good at this because I've been jumping into comic stories, but I feel like time, which can get really tiring, and I think that's probably where it's coming from. But I think in terms of like as where it leaves him and where it picks him up, I don't know. I think it does a pretty good job. I'm really excited to see where it picks him up after the end of this because your main gripe with this series has been that it just seems like the low points just always get lower with him. But at the end of this one, we have a little bit of a happy ending, Did you like that at least?
Yeah, no, I liked that. I thought this issue did a pretty... I mean, it is kind of all doom and gloom, but for some reason I didn't feel it as much in this one. Maybe I've just gotten used to it. But I liked pretty much everything from the scene where he talks to Ben Reilly to the end. Like, in that sense. Like, I thought it was a good mix of, like, heartfelt stuff and like, horrible tragedy, but then, like, yeah, nice stuff as well. I don't know. Do you think they're going to address 9/11 in the next one?
It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I think it would make sense if they, like, had him... Like, he's going to be old, but a disaster like that happening would be something that he would go to New York.
I mean, like, this series has been... Yeah, this series has been, like, touching on current event stuff, and not so much in this one, but in previous issues, it has. It dealt with, like, Vietnam and stuff in the early issues. Like, if you're going to do the 2000s... I mean, maybe we skip over it, but I feel like it has to be addressed. How does that affect the world of... how does that affect the Marvel universe?
Yeah, I feel like 2000s in New York, I feel like that's going to happen. Like, and... Because honestly, that's one of those things that I feel like it's going to happen, and it's going to be one of those things that is able to bring an older Spider-Man out of the woodwork, and I think that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not saying I dislike it. I just, that's what my point is. I don't know what to get out of it.
I think it's,
I kind of read each one and I'm just like, all right, I'm interested to see where it's going to go, but I'm
treating it as a study of how time travels in in a real sense, like how time can be seen in this compared to other shared universe things. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like Heroes in Crisis in that way. Like, I don't think it's there for, like, it's obviously there for a story, but the story is there to complement the ways in which looking at the time scale here makes that plot different. You know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah.
And I do think I would get, that both of us would probably get a lot more out of this book if we knew more about the specific events of Spider-Man.
It seems like it turns those important, huge things on its head in a really, really cool way that benefits it. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the appeal of this book is the ways it's playing with specific events in his history and reinventing them or playing with them, upturning them.
Okay, so put a pin in it, Doug. Reread it when you know more about Spider-Man.
Yeah, and maybe it'll read way better all at once. I don't know. I feel like this is a cool... I feel like this will be a cool thing that, like, you could hand to someone and be like, read this cool story of the entire story of Spider-Man's life.
But then again, like, would all those references to other stories, like, be lost on them, is the thing.
Yeah. And that's part of my question is, like, if you need that encyclopedic knowledge, like, I don't know what I'm getting much out of it. But I fucking, goddamn it, I touched the cover too hard, Jack, and now there's a giant fucking white fingerprint on the goddamn Marvel. Make your books less cheap.
I always hear about that. I've never had a problem with that.
You must hold your comic books different because I just hold my goddamn comic book and I get fucking fingerprints all over it because the fucking ink just comes right off.
So do you hold each side of the page with your, like, in your fingers?
Yeah, I hold the book with my fingers like a human being.
See, I usually put one hand on the spine.
Rested on your hand. See, I don't like that because I don't like how it, like, flops. I like to hold the pages straight.
Well, I think I usually rest it, like, on one side. I'll have my, okay, imagine, put your hands in front of you. Everyone at home, do this as too. So what I do is I have my fingers of my left hand resting on the spine so that the rest of my hand holds up that rest of that page. And then my other hand will have, like, my other fingers will have the other page resting on those fingers. So I'm not grabbing anything. I'm not putting pressure on it. I'm just letting it rest on both hands so it's all open. And usually I also have it laying down on a table or something too. I think that's better.
Yeah. I just fucking, see, that's the thing is, like, a lot of the time when I'm reading it, I am conscious of the fact that this will fucking happen, so I hold my book differently, and I just think that's fucking stupid. That's fucking stupid that I have to be worried about how I touch the book so I don't fucking ruin it. Ugh. It's just frustrating because no one else's books do that.
Yeah. No, I can understand that. It definitely is a different feeling with Marvel and DC, like how they are printed, and it does feel cheaper with Marvel.
Yeah, but that's also kind of why DC's books can be slightly more expensive. But anyways. This one's $5, so great.
No ads, and it's longer. I'll take it.
$5. Got a big fingerprint on it. Wonderful.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Do we want to talk about any other books, or should we move on into the...
We should move on, but I'm just going to say, like, I love Betty Ross in Immortal Hulk. She's fucking awesome, and she's the best, and I want to read everything with her, as a character even. Like, I don't know. I think she's so cool.
I think it's an interesting... I'm not entirely sure what the dynamic they're trying to set up here with this, like, butterfly spider metaphor that they're...
Bruce Banner has ruined her life.
So is he the spider?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe he's not the spider, but he represents the web that, like, is all this Hulk stuff surrounding her life.
She eats his fucking heart at the end.
Yeah, she's defending herself. She's breaking the web.
That's not her being the spider eating him? She's literally eating him.
Maybe she's the spider. I don't know. Maybe that's the deal.
I don't know. But she's also got the big fucking red wings. And there's a red butterfly earlier. I don't know. It's like, I really like this issue. I'm confused by the metaphor, honestly.
Okay.
But
I also think that the eating of the heart or the taking of the heart is something where he's going to be saved by it.
yeah, I don't know. He got fucked up in this issue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Talk about fucking body horror, all the fucking arms and legs off.
His fucking face is melted.
Yeah.
His eyes and nose are giant holes. Ugh. It's gross.
So fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she, like, the reveal of her, like, putting her hand in his chest and stuff, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then, like, this, but Betty is friend. Like, reverting back to that, like, that's the other Hulk, right? If he's talking like that.
Yeah, I think he reverted back to, like the Incredible Hulk, whatever you want to call him. The Green Hulk.
Yeah.
But,
so yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a really well done issue. Like, I can see what you're saying. Like, it'll take some time to see what they mean. I mean, he's been building his metaphors throughout issues, so we'll see.
Yeah, I want to see what they do with her character going forward. If they like keep her as, I think that's an interesting new wrinkle to make. I mean, it sounds like this is something that has precedent, her being this before. Yes.
Well, yes, it does to me, and also precedent in character too, because I loved these little flashbacks we got of different times in which her character existed. Like the first one being like one of her introductions. It seems like they have her in the 60s garb, and she's like, "Oh, Daddy, don't be so unfair. Dr. Bruce Banner is one of our most famous scientists. I'm sure he knows what he's doing." Going into like, I hate you," and then it never gets better. Like depressed. It seems like it goes from naive and innocent to anger, like complete, and to depression. That this is her life now. You know?
Yeah. I just want to say, I don't know if we've talked about it before, but whenever Al Ewing has put, or maybe I'm thinking of this was in Captain America. I don't remember, but recently there has been a resurgence of people putting Thunderbolt Ross in their book and having him refer to people as milksops.
Oh,
and I love it.
Did that happen here?
Yeah, he said they're going to go meet Bruce Banner. He says, now I've got some milksop scientists.
Oh my!
Can we pick up the pace here?
That's right. Oh my god!
Because that's apparently a thing that he would say.
Milks.
Back in the day, he'd talk about people being milksops.
I want to be a milksop. I want to be called a milksop from him.
What does it mean?
Milksop scientist.
What? I want to look it up because I want to know if that's offensive somehow. It says, a person who is indecisive and lacks courage. All right.
Okay, I mean, that's kind
Milksop.
of Bruce Banner. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, by the way, read Superman? Okay, I just really liked it. That's all.
Yeah, it was great. I really like the stuff they're doing with Zod and with Jor-El, and like how there's all these shades of like people just being people, and like they can be bad, they can be good, but like depending on the circumstance, they could work together or be enemies.
Yeah,
you know,
I felt
like
really
Zod
good. Zod, yeah, Zod
secretly.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Zod is particularly like, I was a little worried at first because they showed him like, you know, they teased that he was convinced by Rogozar of what to do, and I was like, wait a minute, that seems to go totally against what Zod would ever do, and that seems stupid. And like the opposite of what's interesting about how he was introduced in Bendis's run. But I'm just like that little moment where they go into super speed and then revealing at the end what he said during that was like, I'm so happy. I love Zod in this.
I fucking love that whole idea.
Yeah.
That they can just go into super speed and like have a secret conversation, and that they like teased it earlier. I love how they're integrating all the members of the Superman family. The fucking moment where they all hugged was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Fucking Crypto's adorable. This was a fantastic issue.
Also, the first like couple pages is some of the, I know this art has been great all throughout, but like the first page turn of Supergirl coming in and like all these diagonal big fucking picture shit. It's so cool. It's so badass. I love it. And then this huge...
I have heard really good things about the spin-off Supergirl series that has been about her investigating Rogol Zar. And I've been curious to go back and read that. Maybe I will now.
I think I might too, because I read a whole thing on Reddit. Some guy posted a comment that was reciting everything that she's learned, because it seems to have very much so given a much fuller story on Rogol Zar than Superman has.
Yeah, which I am totally interested in getting, because I really like this book, and he's the one part of it that I'm like kind of tepid on. I think tepid a lot this episode. But I'm kind of like lukewarm on, and getting some more context on him to connect with him I'm super into that, because I love this book.
By the way, that was the first time you used the word tepid.
I said that earlier on. I feel like I said that on about a different book. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
I don't think so, Doug. Are you okay? You okay these days? No, I agree. I don't know how to read it though. Am I just going to go back and get a trade of it? Is it a miniseries? Who's it written by?
I think it's because it was in the Leviathan special. So I think the search function on the DC Universe website is broken again. Never mind.
Well, wait. It's not going to be on. You have new stuff like this?
I don't know. It depends when it started. I think it would have been too recent, but
okay. I don't know, but yeah, this continues to be great. Ivan Reis. Is this Ivan Reis or Rod?
No, Ivan. Rod is the one who does stuff over at Marvel.
Okay.
Yep.
He's awesome, though. I love anybody named Reese. Both of them are great.
All right. So, that's probably going to do it for this episode. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Let's talk. That's the end of spoilers, by the way. What do we got coming out next week?
Okay. I will talk about it. Yeah, don't, I can't think of the words. Fuck it. We should have a word that we say when we can't think of words. Just saying. Aluminum foil. Okay, so next week, we have some very exciting books. It's great. We got Daredevil number 7, more Chip Zdarsky, Wonder. We got Farmhand number 9. By the way, this arc has gone by so fast of Farmhand. Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like we're on the second to last issue before they're going to take another break, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's been great. We got Gideon Falls number 14, which is always amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy number 6, which will be the end of this arc, the final gauntlet. So I'm excited to move on kind of from that too. Like, I like this arc, but I'm excited to see kind of what the greater cosmic sort of deal is going on with this whole stuff.
Thanos came fucking back in the last issue, didn't he?
Oh. Yeah. Didn't he?
Yeah, because he was in Eros, and then they transmitted his consciousness into a new Thanos body, I'm pretty sure.
That's right. Jesus. Yeah, okay.
So, I'm very curious if they're just how they're gonna deal with that. Is he just back now? Are they going to be going to war with him? Are we going to, like, get some sort of soft wrap up to this, and then Thanos is just out there in the universe still? I don't know.
That must feel shitty for people that read that event, and that was, like, the big deal.
Yeah, the turnarounds these days on, like, characters dying and then bringing them back is literally, like, next month now, every time. Or I like Donny Cates. It's so frustrating.
I know. I don't know. It wasn't Donny Cates that killed him, though. Maybe he wanted to do more work with the character.
Like, that's even worse, honestly.
Really?
Yes, like, fucking, like, if you intend to, like, fake kill someone, you do that and bring them back, sure. But, like, don't fucking I feel like it's disrespectful to other people's stories.
Maybe.
To, like, reverse that stuff. Like, it just makes it mean nothing.
Maybe, but maybe there are also certain circumstances that we don't know about, like, having him do this that are going to be important and going to be interesting thing to, I don't know, an interesting wrinkle on it. If he's just Thanos and it's just whatever, we're not going to do anything with it, like the fact that he died and he's in a new body now, then I think, yes, it's very annoying. But I don't know.
I think that book is really good. I really fucking want writers, to start pushing back on that and start pushing back on the lack of permanence. And I wonder how much of that is like, is like publisher mandated or not. I'm very curious, but we'll probably never find out. So,
but then we also have Invisible Kingdom number 4, which is great, and then we also have Little Bird number 4.
I said little. I almost said Little Gird.
Little Gird. Yeah, super excited for that. I'm so happy that's coming out at such a great pace. It really has been.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they definitely finished the whole thing before they started releasing them because it's come out very regularly.
But it's really necessary. Like, it hasn't let up. You know what I mean? I always feel like it's at the right time. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm so excited that they announced they have tweeted that this is. Or I was reading an interview too. They said that this is like a part of a greater connected universe of stories that they want to tell. So fucking give it to me. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I saw that too, and I am very, very excited about that. Mm-hmm. All right. So, I think that's gonna do it. This time, this is real. False alarm earlier, but this is gonna do it. If you made it this far in the episode, thanks for listening. Please give us a review or star rating on iTunes. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so check back in next week. Or you subscribe to the show. You don't even have to think about it. It just shows up on your phone or whatever you listen to on. You can listen to on anything. I don't know. Maybe you're listening on your
conch shell.
You're listening on your Amazon Echo or whatever, and Google's just writing down everything that we say because they're listening to you.
Oh my god. Okay, so sorry, really quick tangent. My family just got a portal that's made by Facebook. It's like one of those cameras that like zooms and you can move around the room and stuff. It's cool.
Okay.
It's very cool. But I had to download the Facebook Messenger app on my phone so that I could use it with them. And that's one of those, anything having to do with Facebook, you basically give them permission to use the microphone on your phone. So that
the Messenger app specifically is the one that, I think you can turn it off in the deep in the settings, but yeah, you are giving them permission generally by having that app on your phone to record you at any time.
And it sucks, and I noticed this week, Samantha and I were talking about, for her birthday, going to the San Diego Zoo. We were just talking about it. I haven't searched anything whatsoever on the internet. And, of course, on fucking Facebook, it gives me an ad for the fucking San Diego Zoo. It was so fucking creepy. I hate that so much. But I have to do it to talk to my family on the portal. So there we go.
I think you can go into the settings in the Messenger app and opt out of that. But
okay, I'll try and do it. But it was just fucking crazy.
Yep.
Shit.
Speaking of which, did you see? This is I'm getting way off on tangent. Did you see the reveal about? Do you know what Cyberpunk 2077 is?
CD Projekt Red's new game that looks
Keanu Reeves
awesome.
is in it now.
Oh, I did not see that. Was that why everyone's talking about
he went
Keanu
on
Reeves
stage
recently?
as there have been a million memes about it, but he went out on stage to basically introduce the fact that he was in it and set up he set up like a release date trailer. But they showed like him in the game and
is he like the main character?
No, because you create a character, but he is one of the main story characters.
Okay. Wow.
But he like came out on stage and he's Keanu Reeves and he's very charismatic, but he clearly gave like less than 2 shits about being up there and had no script and was just ad-libbing, and it was very funny.
I gotta watch that. Okay, I'll have to do that. I'm super pumped for that game.
Someone in the audience yelled, "You're beautiful," and he yelled, "You're beautiful" back at them, and it was very good.
I love Keanu Reeves. He's so great.
He's just good. He's just a good guy. Anyways, let's get back to the outro.
Okay, here we go. This is that valuable content, Doug.
Right smack dab in the middle of the outro.
Yes. Wait, am I...
It's your turn.
Are you sure? Oh,
I finished my bit.
You can listen to it on whatever you want. Did you talk about subscribing, though? Because they never have to think about it if they subscribe.
I said that.
Okay. You can subscribe, on many, many podcast apps like iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play Music, many others. Whichever one you prefer, we've got you covered. You can also find web archives. Shut up. Of our previous episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com and on our YouTube channel. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Our Snapchat is under construction. Doug has...
Oh, God. I'm not giving you control of a Snapchat.
Oh, my God. You know what we should do? Since, I guess it might be an old joke now, but, Snapchat used to be just for dick pics, right? So we should just put all the dick pics of comics in our Snapchat. Like,
they're just pictures of Dick Grayson.
No, every once in a while there's a picture of Dick Grayson. Actually, that'd be really, really great. We should do that. I want a Twitter poll. Here we go. Anybody who listens to this show, who knows if anyone's going to say anything? No one has ever done this, before when I said anything. They're probably not even listening. It doesn't matter.
Don't do a Twitter poll, please.
Here, no, I'm just asking everybody. Please write to us on Twitter if you would want us to put together a Snapchat that is just pictures of Dick Grayson and Batman's dick and Dr. Manhattan.
No, I think it's an account called Dick Pics, and it's just Dick Grayson. It's just pictures of Dick Grayson.
Honestly, there probably is one already. I don't know. Whatever. On Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, we are under the handle at Comics Covered, and we'll give you dick pics if you want them. Doug will. But if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media or email to comicscovered@gmail.com. Thank you again for listening. I'm a Milksop scientist.
And I'm Doug. This has been Comics Covered.